Hey guys, um, welcome to this video. It's going to be a little bit different to what I normally do. I actually don't really do anything normal, to be honest, on my channel, but um, I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an insight into what it's like to live in the countryside. Um, Friends that I've spoken to and family and stuff, spoken about how living in the countryside is a lot different to living in a city, and I now know the difference between the both because for university I go to Nottingham, which is good fun, but it's always been a question what it's like to live kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I thought I'd share my experiences as to what that's like. So firstly, the sun's hitting me now, look at that. The weather's good down in Suffolk, most of the time. It's called sunny Suffolk for a reason, so even though the clouds are out, still getting some sun on me, so happy about that. But now one of the first things really about living in Suffolk is that the transport is horrendous. And I don't mean Suffolk in general, like I mean just particularly where I live in Suffolk is actually, you know what, it's rubbish everywhere, unless you're living in the town, which is Ipswich, the nearest one. You're going to find trouble in terms of getting there, especially if you don't have a vehicle yourself. So more specifically, it's about growing up in these areas, and the difficulties that happen and are occurred during living there. So yeah, transport's one of the main things. Is like it's going to take at least 2 hours. Well, it's not going to take that long, but so every 2 hours there's buses from where I live, and I don't even live that far away from town. So if you wanted to go out to the cinema or something, you'd have to get a bus at 4 o'clock, even if your showing was at 6, because that's the last time the bus runs from, I think, 8 o'clock till 4, 8 o'clock till 6 maybe, but yeah, so that's one of the things is like, especially that's only to get into town. So if your friends live like 20 minutes away, like a drive, there's literally no way of you getting there. I remember a couple of times I used to just cycle to my mate's house because there's no other way, and also sometimes even walk if they're close enough. But even then it'd be like an hour walk or so. Yeah, another thing is that it's quite lonely, partly because of the transport issue, and I don't think the local government really do enough to sort that out, because there's a lack of opportunity because of it as well. But my main point here is that it is lonely because you don't get to see your friends unless you've got someone that can take you there, or that can come to you, or which is quite a different or polar opposite to what it's like to living in a city. You know, you can get a train, get a bus that's run every like 7 minutes, and from my experiences of being in London for a bit, I was like, this is incredible. You know, being able to like walk to the tram stop or the tube stop and meet a friend on the other side of London within half an hour, you know, and to meet one friend in Ipswich, or sorry, in Suffolk, it's going to take you an hour anyway. So which is quite sad, but also this is quite a cynical view on it all, because at the end of the day it's quite nice to be by yourself, and especially when you come from a big city. Well, I'm not from a big city, but when you come from like back from uni, for example, and you come back here, and it's just you kind of get a bit of time for yourself, you know, rather than constantly being able to distract yourself with other things, you know, and you're kind of left with your own thoughts, and you can go on walks and enjoy the countryside and the nature that it has to offer. Although I say that it's nice now, but during growing up, like from 10 years old to like high school, basically secondary school, is a nightmare trying to find some fun things to do. You know, you're kind of left by yourself in your room, or just playing games and stuff like that. So I suppose now that it's like, because of the advancement of technology and stuff, it's a bit easier to stay in touch with your friends. But I can imagine beforehand it would have been an absolute nightmare, which it kind of still is. But there's lots of animals around here. I don't say that, that's not true actually. There's some animals, but there's also plenty of fields. And I do remember a couple of times with my friends. Like, luckily I had, because I live in a small village. Sometimes when I was younger, because I live in a small village, there's like some friends around, but not many people my age. And if they were around, they'd be older or too young to be friends with, like babies and that. You hear a couple cars pass, but at the end of the day, there's not a lot to do here. I think that's kind of the moral of this story. One positive actually, like that's just come to mind, is that it kind of makes you a little bit more ambitious than I think you'd normally be. Despite the lack of opportunity out here, it kind of makes you not want to. It just sounds bad, but it kind of says that you don't want to be here. You know, you need to find something that will make you able to escape from it. I think it's very simple, very easy to get into like a cycle of just being stuck in one place. And I know a few people that will live and die where they were born, you know. And for me personally, that's not sort of thing that I would be interested in doing. But like for other people it is, and I think that's quite nice, I suppose, if you can be content with what you're being given. But for me personally, and I think a couple of people that I know as well, feel like it's best to appreciate what you've got here in the countryside, and being kind of free from the fast-moving pace of the city, but also makes you ambitious in terms of wanting to be able to achieve something and being able to get out and then eventually buying a place in a place like this. But as a teenager, it's not exactly the ideal environment. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that's one thing. Is it makes you a little bit more ambitious about your goals in life, as long as you can prepare yourself to actually want to be ambitious. Because it is very easy just to get into a rhythm and stay where you're at. Stay where you're at. No, for me, that's not really the case. I don't think I'm alone on that either. There's a lot of open space here too. Like if you wanna get a moped or a bike or whatever, not a moped but like a scrambler or something, just go around the fields and do that sort of thing. I've never done that, but I've always wanted to. I hope some people can resonate with what I've said. And whether you live in Suffolk or you live elsewhere in the country, and the countryside, I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, no, thanks for watching. Enjoy your lives as much as you can. That's the motto really. The thing is, at the end of the day, if you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're enjoying living in the countryside, if you're enjoying living in the city, continue doing that. And live, laugh, and most importantly, love. Okay? Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you later. Bye bye, guys.